The thing about the short-term outlook for retail that's problematic is household balance sheets are still in pretty bad shape as a result of the recent financial crisis. And this is particularly true because of the wealth distribution in the country. So if you look at the most affluent Americans, they've recovered quite a lot of the wealth that they lost in 2008. And part of the reason for that is they didn't have a lot of household debt, and part of the reason for that is they had opportunities for investments that many people don't. And so they've done pretty well. And so what we observe is the high end of the retail business has actually snapped back pretty well, actually surprisingly well. In 2008, Neiman Marcus, for example, had a disastrous year with sales being off more than 20% from the previous year. And they've come back pretty handsomely. Nordstrom's is doing pretty well. The bottom of the market, because of bargain hunters, is doing okay too. And we know about the fact that the Targets, the Walmarts, the Costco's are doing okay. Walmart's same-store growth has been weak, but they've also been expanding the number of their stores, and they will tell you that it's part of their strategy to cannibalize some of their old business with new stores, and overall their sales are certainly up. The other area where we're seeing retailers interested in doing at least some ground-up development in the next few years is the factory outlet centers and the factory outlet stores. So we're seeing more interest in building Nordstrom's racks than we are in building Nordstrom's, for instance. But the middle of the market is really problematic, and that's because that's where the typical American got really hit pretty badly. If you looked at median net worth in 2007 in the US, it was about $170,000 per household. And that's the whole thing: stocks, bonds, furniture, cars, home equity, etc. That number's dropped to under $100,000, according to a Federal Reserve survey in 2009. So that's a very broad swath of the country that still feels like they don't have a lot of money to spend. And so for mid-market retailers, for the electronics retailers, et cetera, outside of Apple, you still have a lot of weakness.